Boy, do I have a surprise for you. Actually, it's a surprise for me. I found my VFD Stubby Kit just laying around here, like I had bought it and somehow misplaced it. So I've been wanting to install the VFD Stubby Kit into my VFD Carbon, and wouldn't you know it, I bought it when they first came out, and then I promptly lost it in my stuff. Fortunately, I had found it at some point, forgot that I found it, and I put it along with all of my other Vanquish stuff hanging up over there. The probably thousands of dollars hanging on a shelf at this point. And I was going through my stuff. I was just looking for things, and I ran across the Stubby Kit. So today, exciting day for me. I would like to install it. And why, may you ask? Well, we have the Revolver 540M that is perfect for the Stubby Kit, and it allows you to not only move your motor back, but it allows you to put your servo, instead of being up on the axle, it tucks it way down in tight on the axle. So that allows you to get your center of gravity very low on this kit. And I want to check that out. But we also have a prototype of the Crawlmaster V2 10-pole in-runner, and that also fits. I specifically designed this motor so that it would fit in a VFD Stubby Kit. So let's see what happens. Dun, dun, dun. Well, so we gotta take things apart. There is instructions around here. They're very nice instructions. Good job, BP. Really like these. Very easy to see. I like the outline method of showing everything. No shading, no nothing special. So what do we gotta do? We gotta take things out. Remove transmission from chassis. We will do that first. That should be easy enough. Should be easy enough. I will need to get the right size of tools. There we go. Now, are there any hidden screws in here? I don't think so. We'll take 3 of these out, and then we'll see what happens. It would be a lot faster if I used my electric, wouldn't it? But, oh well, too late. So, first things first, transmission comes out. Then we have to take it apart according to the instructions. New short and top shaft and new VFD stubby posts ×2. Hey, there are 2 posts. One of them was kind of floating around in the bag. It was the very first run that I got of these, so I'm thinking that they may have forgotten to throw it in and then threw it in afterwards. All right, we're gonna unplug all this stuff. We don't need any of this, really. There we go. All right, we got those 3. Yep, boom. Indeed the case. 3 bolts on the lower portion of the transmission and 2 up here. It should just slide right out. Easy peasy. Are all of them the same length? Let me make sure. Yes, they're all the same length, so we're not going to get them confused with each other. I really do like when kits use the same length screws all over, because it's like the original AX10 transmissions. There was too long and too short bolts, screws, whatever going into them, and half the time you'd kind of forget. All right, this one is longer. This one does have to go through more plates. More than likely, we're not going to reuse very many of these screws, though. I'm going to set those 2 aside because we've got a full new set of screws for this. All right, sliding shafts. You can fall on the ground. And then we need to take this apart. So we have it out of the vehicle. We need to remove our electronics plate right here. And then install new top shaft and VFD stubby posts. Complete teardown to remove components below. Ooh, this may be a decent project that I'm getting myself into. Oh no, I can't get to this post. What's going to be the easiest way? Probably removing the entire slipper assembly. Wrong size. Wrong hole. Fool. Let me know in the comments if you recognize that quote. If you do, we can be best friends. All right. Little Come on, cross pin. Oh, don't lose it. I know, I should have a magnetic catcher. But no, I don't wanna. You know, I'd have to keep it clean up here if I had that. We're not gonna keep it clean. I have come to the realization that I tend to collect things. Yes, so is what it is. I have come to accept it. All right, this comes out. Boom. Okay, those come out. Then we need to remove some of these. Squeaky, squeak, squeak, squeak. Are these all the same size? Yes. Thank you, VP. How nice. There we go. Hey, hoo-hoo. There we go, spacer. Motor plate. Don't pay attention to that at all. Please and thanks. Now then, we remove this and hopefully we can access the gears in the top. It has been so long since I built this that I don't remember anything. I am like a newborn baby. I have no information in my head about this. And I poop my pants. I mean, if I was a baby at least. No, wait, babies don't wear pants, they wear diapers. Ah. I've already ruined the joke. Do babies really make poop, or is it just more of curdled cheese? I remember my kids when they were real little. It wasn't like poop at all until we started adding in like ground up peas and all that other stuff. Wow, my thumb is getting very tired already. Should have charged up my Black & Decker. All right, top shaft. Oh, there we go. There we go. This plate comes out. And can we maybe slide this? I don't want to take it all apart right now. I wanted this to be easy. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to take this all apart. From the inside, oh man. After about 30 minutes of work, I have gotten past the first step, which is remove transmission from chassis, complete teardown to remove components, remove motor, mount tabs left and right, which I suppose are these. Oh, shoot, I'm not done. Let me remove these motor tabs left and right. So I have taken the transmission apart. I have put the shorter top shaft in. Whoop, look at that little shaft. And then we got to reassemble everything properly. The next step, install new top shaft and VFD stubby posts. Reassemble complete transmission. That's what we're going to do. What it said, that's what we're going to do. So I have exchanged out the motor that was in there for the 35 milliliter. I mean, it's kind of like a milliliter. 35 millimeter long Crawlmaster V2. That will hopefully let us clear. We're going to find out. 35 millimeters, it's supposed to fit. It's not 36. 36 might be a little tight. But 35 is what they designed it for, 35 millimeters and shorter. So we'll see. Now, I don't know about changing out motors after this is assembled. I feel like it might require at least the front portion of the transmission to be removed. The motor plate might need to be removed to change motors out at this point because it's going to be really tight. You can't just like slide and angle a motor in like you used to be able to. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, so I removed those. They told me to remove them. I removed them. The next thing we need to do is All right, we got these posts. Yes, sir. We got these posts. Hey, there's 2 places for posts to go. Is that the place? Those are the places. I am going to thread the old things in. You know, since they're going into metal, I should probably do some thread lock on there. Oh, but these would really suck to remove with thread lock too. Oh well, there's plastic on the back side. It should be okay because the plastic acts. Oh Jesus, the plastic acts. A question. It acts as a crush gasket, and supposedly it should be fine. Plastic don't ask me no questions. Hey. All right, I want Vanquish to be facing out and looking good on this, so we're gonna face him like a dollar bill. There we go. That should be good enough. We got that. We got so many things on this table. Now, this a 2300. Oh man, I think the top shaft is going to be rubbing. There we go. This is the 2300 kV motor. This will be one of the official selections that is available. We're going to have 1800 kV, 2300 kV, and 2700 kV. In the comments of some of the videos, I saw that some people might want a higher kV. And 2700 kV is more of a soft limit for MOSFETs, where if you go up with a higher kV running on the same voltage versus running a lower kV on a higher voltage, the lower kV ends up having a pretty good performance gain when we're talking about low speed control, when we're talking about startup and general MOSFET health. Because when we go above 2700 kV, your amperage needs start to become very high for not only the startup of the motor, but just general torque production. And it makes the MOSFETs very hot typically. So we're gonna stop at 2700 kV pretty much. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And maybe we will do something that's a little higher, as like a special run or something, but we'll see. We'll find out. Here we go. All right. This is moving. This is good. We're good. Now we try. There we go. Looking good. And this will fit into, hey, look, and we got like a millimeter or a millimeter and a half clearance. Perfect. This doesn't hit things yet. I just want to make sure we're gonna do a little pretend action here. Is it going to fit without hitting anything? I believe we're in the clear. So I'm going to continue with this. Bolt it up like so. There we are. Now I believe we also have a electronics plate. It might be in the way. We'll find out. I mean, there's this. That electronics plate might be in the way of these motor wires, in which case we would just flip the motor wires around to the other side. But I kind of like this side because the electronics plate will be on the same side as the motor, and we will be able to make everything as compact as possible. This is an install that I could see myself doing a direct solder and just getting rid of all the extra motor wire length and not having a whole loop of wires going around. I could see myself doing that on this build. There we go. Now then, got to set our pinion mesh with the original stock 15 tooth pinion, which is a little large. We're not going to be able to install the what's it called, the thingy thing. We're not going to be able to install the motor guard with this pinion. If I went down to a 13, I believe it would actually fit. And I think they have changed the kits themselves to include a 13 instead of a 15. So I should probably do that, but my pinions got stolen by an employee, it looks like. It's fine, it's fine. There we are. We're going to line all this up. Looking good in the neighborhood. Yeah, it extends a little low. I would definitely prefer a smaller pinion, but yeah, for the moment it's fine. The gearing on this is not bad. There we are. Okay, let's make sure that our pinion mesh is good. Huh. It's got the same backlash all around it, I must say. That's nice. We've got just teeny tick, you can hear. Teeny tick, just a little bit. You don't want this like really mashed together too hard. That's not good for it. I am going to make sure that our teeth are aligned. Get that old pinion lined up. Sweet, what next? You see on these instructions, it says outrunner motor required due to reduced length of VFD. I got an inrunner. I'm the only one in the world that has this inrunner right now. Well, okay, there's a few people that might have them as well that are on the team, but I'm the only one that's installed into a VFD right now at least. So there's that. It is kind of cool having the only motor in the world for something, at least for a short period of time. So what do we need to do next? We are going to install the brace. One of these I can't actually get to because there are shocks in the way. So I'm going to go back to that later. As a matter of fact, I don't even think it really needs that 5th and 6th thing, screw. But, you know, Vanquish probably knows better. I'm sure the chassis will be better braced. I must say, working on this vehicle has been quite the pleasure, and it's really evident, at least to me, that Vanquish came from being a machinist, right? So they're a company that is a CNC operation, and they came from that into the ability to design and mold plastic. Now, I don't think they're molding plastic in-house. It really doesn't matter at this point where it's getting molded, but you have to be able to design it properly and then also have good relations with whoever is your injection molder, right? There is no higher engineering on this size of crawler, in my opinion, than something that is a combined CNC and injection molded thing. Because as far as, let's say, chassis braces, like what I'm installing right now, they could CNC this part. It would not be affordable. It honestly wouldn't be very light. It could be something that's 3D printed, but it's not going to be nearly as strong as an injection molded part. These are nylon with a fairly high glass content to them, so it's really stiff. I mean, we can hear, maybe, okay, not a good time to show, but we can hear, if I get my knife out, we can hear the high glass content of this stuff. So as far as making the most performance vehicle, a combination of CNC and injection molding really can't be beaten. And this rig continues to surprise me just as far as how capable it is being a out-of-the-box type crawler. But just the little things in engineering, the way that they have their braces run, the tolerance that they have for all of their parts, like even their knuckles. You know, these are portals, so they're going to have more wiggle than most rigs, or at least a straight axle rig, and there is practically zero slop in the front of these. It's cool. I really like it. I enjoy this rig a lot. All right, let's see if I can get this back together. So I Put the new chassis brace in, and now we install the transmission, it looks like. Yep. Let's see if it all slides together. It may. There we go. Oh, like a glove. Everything is so close in here. It is very similar to a competition rig. I mean, it is a competition rig, but it's really similar to the old comp rigs that we used to build back in the day that you couldn't just buy. If anything, you were buying a chassis that you had to hobby and cobble together a whole bunch of other stuff to get to work. But the tightness of this, especially once I do the behind the axle steering mount, the tightness and compactness of all this is nearly problematic. It's hard to work on stuff, but if it clears, it clears. The old machinist saying is if it clears by 1,000ths, it might as well be a mile. And as long as you don't have something that's flexing, then that is certainly true. Although I would typically want to have more than 1,000th of an inch clearance on stuff inside my CNC machine, I would typically go for 5,000ths of an inch, because the expansion and contraction of your machine itself sometimes can be a thou on the inside. Not a 10 thou, but a regular thou. Certainly many tens of thou. I would watch the tolerance of my parts move as it warmed up. Almost half of a thou, 5/10,000ths. I would watch it over the course of about 45 minutes as it warmed up. And so that was always something that we had to watch out for. At any rate, what I'm saying is if it doesn't rub and there's enough clearance, then it's just not going to rub. If it doesn't rub, it's not going to rub unless something like shifts or moves or flexes or whatever, which, you know, on this little guy, I'm sure something could flex, but you know, a drive shaft is really close. But as long as I pull these wires up a little bit, I think we'll be fine. Even if I don't, yeah, there's not going to be any problem at all on that. Now let's look. Yeah, I can't quite put that skid plate in because this motor does hang down. I think that's it. We have two more to install up here. I think I'm supposed to take these out of the bag. Am I supposed to take these out of the bag? I don't know about that. Oh, yeah. Here's our long one that was on this side. I'll just install the one that was in there. Let's see. Was there a... We've got this plate. I think that actually goes... I see. They moved things around. It's cool. That works. Whatever. I'm going to just reinstall the old screws that were in that position, and we'll be good. And then I'm going to call it. I'm not going to install the forward or the behind the axle mount for the steering servo yet, because, well, I really don't feel like right now. This is a lot of wrenching. The wrenching always takes a little bit longer than what I expect it to. You know, that's fine. I guess it'd be a lot quicker if I charged up my power drill. Watch what you're doing here. It's probably a good thing that I got to this because it looks like my servo wires were rubbing on the spur gear. I'm not running the cover, obviously. I tend to change my gearing and change my motors often enough in the rig to where I just don't run the spur covers. But it might be a good idea, especially with the motor being slightly further back. Now there's a little bit more room for things to get into it. There we go. Oh, this will be great. I think what I'm going to end up doing is running the Crawlmaster HV as a bare board version. I'll put it probably on this new little plate up here, or I might run the Crawlmaster V3 in a bare board version because it really doesn't need much for this, running 3S or 4S. We don't need a whole lot of heat sinking. And those wires would come right up to it. I could zip tie them down and out of the way, and we would be pretty golden. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That'll be slick. Well, if you got any questions about the kit, leave your comments down below. I'm really not the expert to answer most of the questions unless it's about electronics, but we will do our best, certainly. So there you go, mostly VFD Stubby Kit, mostly installed. As you can see, move that back quite a ways. We got a really short motor in there, It is going to be very tight, but we will have enough room to shove a servo back here now. Oh dear, whatever that was. Oh yeah, plenty of room for a servo back here. It's gonna be great. And since I have a 650 LP, it's gonna be not hanging down too far either. So that should be great. That should be perfect. All right, oh, pick this up before I lose it. There you go. Well, thanks for tuning in. And if you have any suggestions on this, leave your comments down below, because I'm always looking for some help building. Always looking for help. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.